Welcome back to the channel. So you've got boot camp coming up soon, and you're probably wondering, what's a typical day like at Navy boot camp? Well, let me stop you right there. There is no such thing as a normal day, but there is structure to every single day. So in this video, I'll walk you through what a typical day at Navy boot camp will look like. From 5 a.m. wake-up calls to preparing for daily inspections, physical training, and even the infamous Chow Hall rules. I'll break it all down for you. You'll see why every second at boot camp has a purpose and how understanding these routines can help you succeed. Let's dive in. First off, a typical day at Navy boot camp starts early. Reveille is around 5:30 a.m. sharp, whatever time they deem necessary for you. And no, there's no snooze button. RDCs will ensure that you are up and moving immediately. So once that alarm goes off, it's go time. You'll have just a few minutes to get out of bed, get your rack all squared away, meaning folded perfectly, everything squared away so that if you are inspected, you're good to go. RDCs are all about urgency in the morning, so don't waste time. Having your uniform and hygiene routine ready to go will really save you from getting yelled at first thing in the morning. Here's a tip. Always double check and even triple check your bedding and stowage before you leave after waking up. It's better to be a few seconds late than risk doing something wrong and getting beaten as a group later on. All right, next up we have physical training. After reveille and getting squared away, it's time for morning PT. Almost every day starts with some kind of physical exercise to build endurance and strength and overall fitness. PT typically involves running drills, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and also group stretches, warm-ups and cool-downs to avoid injury. You will be tested physically constantly, so this is the time to show effort and improvement. Even if you're not in perfect shape, the RDCs are focused on who is giving the best effort. You may not be the strongest one in your class, and if so, they're going to notice if you start boot camp by doing 5 push-ups in 2 minutes or doing a plank for 30 seconds before vomiting. They're going to notice after a while that, oh dang, he's doing 30 push-ups now. Good to go. You're still probably a far ways off from where you need to be, but at least you're showing improvement and you're showing effort. If you're obviously giving 100%, the RDCs are going to notice that. And PT can also be practiced for the Navy's PFA, the Physical Fitness Assessment. So you really want to focus on what is expected so you can devote the necessary amount of time to your weak spots. All right, it's chow time, aka breakfast. So after PT, it's time for chow in the chow hall. Do yourself a favor and completely get it out of your head that it's going to be a casual, relaxing meal. It's not. Eating at boot camp is just like anything else. It's about efficiency. You'll go through the food line quickly, and you better do it silently as well. No talking, and you will want to keep your nose in your book. You're going to be given a book. It's going to be your Bible during boot camp. It's going to have everything you need to know, whether it's about how to recognize certain people's rank based on their collar device, or your general orders, or the history of the Navy, or what kind of ships are out there. Everything you need to know to get through boot camp is going to be in your Navy Bible. And so while you're waiting in line to get your food, keep your nose in your book. If RDC see you looking around, or heaven forbid, talking to the person in front of you or behind you, the whole chow hall is going to know that you messed up. So you'll get through the line, you'll get to your table, you'll sit down and just start eating. Just eat. No talking, just eat. So the rules to follow while you're eating your breakfast, lunch, and dinner: you want to sit down, be quiet, focus on your food, sit up straight with your feet flat on the ground and your tray pulled in close to your chest. You might have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe if the RDCs are feeling generous, but prepare to eat all your food within 5 to 10 minutes. And as stated before, do not talk, do not tempt fate, don't think that you're going to get away with it, don't think that if you just whisper, you'll be able to have conversation during breakfast. Don't risk it. Don't risk it for the biscuit. You want to make sure everything is cleaned up when you're done. No crumbs on the table, clean up after yourself. Try to finish your food, whatever you take, make sure you eat. You don't want to pick up your tray and head to the garbage with a full tray of food. RDCs will not like that. And just know that the food at boot camp isn't gourmet, okay? But it's decent and it's packed with nutrients. It's good for you. It's going to keep you going for the rest of the day, at least until lunchtime. Quick tip for you. You want to get the necessary amount of protein and carbs so you can keep up with all the PT you're going to be doing. All the drills, all the exercises, all the group beatings. Make sure you get enough protein and carbs, okay? Don't worry about slimming down in the beginning. Just worry about getting enough food in your system so you don't completely flatline during a PT session. Okay, don't load up on just pancakes. Get some sausage, get some bacon, get some yogurt, something with some protein in there. All right, so then after breakfast, you got some training sessions and you got some classes. And this is where the real training begins. The morning schedule is packed with classroom sessions designed to teach you Navy knowledge, safety protocols, and basic skills that you'll need once you graduate boot camp. These topics might include the Navy core values, honor, courage, and commitment, basic first aid training, ship safety and emergency procedures like firefighting and combating a flood, military customs and courtesies. You'll also be quizzed on Navy terminology, and this will happen regularly. So brush up on things like rank, commands, and history before you arrive. It'll put you ahead a little bit. Your recruiter should give you some information, a welcome packet, some folder full of stuff that it is in your best interest to know before you arrive at boot camp. Knowing your general orders, that's a must. Knowing the sailor's creed is essential. And then specifically with the Navy, you'll learn all branches of the military, but specifically the Navy. You want to know what each rank looks like in terms of collar device, in terms of how the officer or the enlisted sailor is wearing their uniform. And so they're going to ask you questions like this at your rack, usually on the tow line, whether it's in the morning or at night or during inspection. They're going to have a lot of questions about rank. You know, what does the collar device look like for a commander? Petty officer, the collar device for a commander is 1 silver oak leaf. So knowing all this stuff before you get to boot camp, it's really going to put you ahead. Now, you're going to find sometimes it's hard to stay awake during these classroom sessions. A lot of recruits are exhausted after their morning PT and everything else they got going on. Once you actually get to a quiet room where you can sit down and just listen to somebody talk, or you watch a training video, it's going to be extremely hard to stay awake. So before you are reprimanded and forced to do some kind of beating, stand up. Just stand up and go to the side of the classroom. That's going to show the instructor and whatever leadership is present in the room that you care about what you're learning and you need to stay awake. They understand you're going to be exhausted. They understand what you're going through. They went through it themselves. And so for you to take the initiative before they have to ask you to stand yourself up and walk to the side and force yourself to stay awake by standing up along the wall, that's really going to show them you care about what you're doing. Especially when your RDCs come in and they see you standing up. First, they're going to ask, were they told to stand up or did they stand up themselves? And if you stood up yourself and no one told you to, it's going to be really good for you. Something else you can do to try and stay awake is to continuously take notes. Just jot down things that you're listening to or learning about or things you think you want to remember for later, anything in general, just to stay awake. So after the morning classes, you have drill practice and inspections. And this is going to test your attention to detail and teamwork. Drill practice includes learning movements like marching in step, saluting properly, and forming up in formation. Inspections focus on everything: your uniform, personal hygiene, and stowing your gear according to Navy standards. This is where discipline really comes into play. Making small mistakes like missing a button or not having something folded just right, this can lead to consequences for the entire group. Inspections are all about precision and teamwork. So support your fellow recruits. If one of you struggles, the whole group is going to feel it. So if you're good at whatever you're learning, whether it's folding, whether it's dressing yourself in the right uniform, whether it's making your rack, and you're done 30 seconds ahead of schedule, help somebody else. Help get them squared away. Teach them how to do it faster and more efficiently, because if they are not doing it right, you're probably all going to get beat at a certain point. So that was your morning, and now it's time for lunch and afternoon training. Lunch is similar to breakfast. It's fast, efficient, and quiet. Once you're refueled, the afternoon schedule typically includes more training exercises, both physical and mental. This can be surface warfare training, weapons handling basics, and your first swimming instruction if you need a little more help before the swim test. All right, so your morning is done, your afternoon is done. Now it's time for evening routine, dinner, and lights out. Dinner is usually a little quieter just because the day is coming to an end, people are exhausted, and you just don't have the effort to make any noise whatsoever. And you'll be surprised how quiet it is. Usually most of the noise is going to be coming from the staff, whether they're washing dishes or replacing trays of food that are empty. No noise should be coming from the recruits. Also, the RDCs, when they're eating, they're going to chatter, so you'll hear some talking over in their general area. But in terms of recruits, nah. And so once dinner comes to an end, you'll go back to your barracks and you'll spend some time cleaning and stowing and tidying up things from the day, and also prepping your gear for the next day. You're going to be expected to use some of your evening time to prep your uniforms, like ironing, folding, making sure everything looks just right so that you're not caught off guard if there's a surprise inspection for whatever reason. Once you're taught how to fold a certain thing, it's going to be expected that it's going to be in your rack, folded correctly and in the correct place every single time. And just know that inside your rack, everything has a specific place it needs to be. When there's an inspection, RDCs know the uniform goes here, undershirts go there, socks go there, underwear goes there, hygiene products go there. You do have one drawer that is your personal drawer that they cannot go into as long as it's locked. Okay, if it's not locked, it's fair game. So many times we would leave the barracks, go to a classroom session or go out for formation practice or marching drills or whatever, and we'd come back to the barracks and there would be 5 or 6 racks that were open and all their stuff, every single item was on the deck, scattered all over the place. And it probably meant that recruit did not have their lock actually locked. It was just dangling there. Or it was locked, but the key was still hanging out of it, so people had access to it. If you leave something unlocked, or if you leave the key, or if you leave something exposed, that's fair game. You have no personal space, just so you know. And there's that one little drawer that you can keep all your personal items, a journal, letters from your family, sentimental trinkets, special lotions, whatever. But you got to keep it locked. If it's not, just prepare yourself for the inevitable. Going to be gone through, and it's going to be, all your crap is going to be scattered everywhere. And now it's time for lights out. That was my favorite part of the day. We got into our pajamas, which is like your, Navy issues, sweatpants and t-shirt and sweatshirt. And a lot of times we'd go to the tow line and we would say the Sailor's Creed, or we would recite the general orders or something else knowledge-based. And then we got into position by our bunk beds, whether you were a top rack or a bottom rack. And you would get into position. If you were on the top rack, you would hold it, ready to go. And they would say, execute. And you get into bed, you'd lay down flat, and you'd lay there. And our RDCs, whenever they'd walk out of the room, they'd be like, good night, assholes. And we'd say, good night, petty officer. Now, towards the end of boot camp, we got a little, funny because we knew that nothing was going to get in our way of graduation. It was like the last week, and there was no more tests, no more evolutions, unless you really intentionally tried to mess up. You were going to graduate. And so they'd be like, good night, assholes. Good night, petty officer. We love you. So that's what a typical day at Navy boot camp looks like. A nonstop combination of hard work, discipline, and learning. Every element of this routine is designed to shape you into a resilient, capable sailor. So if you're feeling nervous, just remember boot camp is tough, but it's temporary. Show up ready to work hard, stay focused, and embrace the challenge. Or as they say, embrace the suck. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more insights into boot camp and military life. And as always, good luck out there.